Superstar Texas Wrestling, and our first event on this edition, featuring the big cowboy right there, Scott Casey, handed a rose. And is there a nicer gift than somebody handing you a rose as you go into battle? But when you go against Scott Casey, something has to be whirling in your mind to think, I got this big guy who is as tough as a bronco.
Scott Casey is as tough and as rugged as they come. He's waiting on Brian Adias to get there. Brian may be trying to psych him out a bit as he takes plenty of time, his own sweet time, in making his way to the ring.
There he is, Brian Adias. The pose of the God as he comes up to the side. Flanked by the two lovely young ladies and ready to go. Let's go to the ring and the introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your first match of the evening. One fall, 20-minute time limit. In the blue corner, weighing in at 230 pounds from Arlington, Texas, Brian Adias. And in the red corner, weighing in at 250 pounds from Dallas, Texas, Cowboy Scott Casey. The referee, Rick Manning.
Now, this is a local battle. This is turf battle right here. And Scott is from Dallas, but he has a ranch over in southwest Texas. And Brian is not a rancher. So you can say, Doyle, that Scott Casey is closer to the land than Brian Adias, who is closer to a rule breaker.
Well, I don't know how much closer you could get to being a rule breaker than Brian Adias, because he'll do anything he possibly can to win himself a battle. Just like last week, we all saw him pulling the trunks of Scott's brother Steve, and he took a win in that match.
And when you accosted him about it, talked to him about it, it was as though, what? I pull trunks? No, it would never happen.
Yeah. I never pull hair. I never break a rule.
Not Brian Adias, who is out, prancing about. I did mention that about his beautiful trucks and tights, and he said that they were especially designed by a well-known designer of men's attire.
Rather avant-garde artist.
They are indeed avant-garde. They should be maybe framed. Well, here we go. Testing of strength. Casey, Adias in the Picasso-type colors. And Adias said, I got him now. But Doyle, do you think he's got him now?
Well, I don't know. No, he doesn't. As Scott Casey powers up to his feet now. Casey now with Brian Adias down on one knee.
So when you talk about it, you better be able to do it. And right now, Adias is not able to do it. It's Scott Casey. Watch out. He may stomp right here.
Yes, he did.
Stomp on the hand.
Fingers and back into the neck and the throat area of Brian Adias. Adias for the ride, turns it around. Casey goes into the buckle with his fists closed. Casey comes right back with one.
And Adias is staggered. Maybe the count 1, 2, but the rope is there for his leg. And right on the mouth. Tough move, Scott Casey.
That'll get you fired up.
Boy, that'll get your dentals straightened out.
Adias taking the punishment from Casey. Casey asking him to get up, and look at how Adias waited for Casey to turn his head. Momentary loss of concentration there, and Adias capitalizes on it.
And Brian comes right back in there. He is after him very hard. And throwing those buffs, coming in, taking charge. Move right there. Here he comes. He's got it going.
You better not take too much time.
Drops in on the chest. May have a chance to pull it off right here. Got a count of 1 and a count of 2, but look at the strength of Scott Casey. Handling it very fast. Scott caught in a hammerlock right now. Casey still taking charge of it. Running into that hammer, holding it, reversing it, coming over the back. And he maintains that hold. Takes it over in the corner. Our ever-present engineer taking care of a little problem. And we have Scott Casey hanging on now as Adias turns it around a bit. Hammering on the back, hammering on the neck. working it out. Adias, with all his posturing, with all, a bear hug. And he's going to have to really exert because Scott Casey has a huge frame. Judo chop across the throat, and Brian Adias takes a big one from Scott Casey. Oh, bad move by Scott. 1, 2, and not 3. And Scott slipped as he came up with that setup for the body slam. And then Adias almost had the opportunity to turn this one around at the goal line. And it is right. And another right to the jaw and a right to the throat. And Scott Casey taking charge. But here comes, into the referee and down. Watch out, Adias now has an opportunity, boy. The thumb. Here comes Steve. And now Steve Casey protecting his brother. Steve coming over and say, hey, referee, look here, I got him. And Scott, the referee, done with a count of 1, and a count of 2, and count of 3. And there's the football.
Winner of this match in 4 minutes and 50 seconds, Cowboy Scott Casey.
Well, Brian Adias is still trying to figure out what happened to him. He was all set to put the coup de grace, as they would say in other parts, right into Scott Casey. But Steve came down, took care of it, and there is a battered Scott Casey and a much maligned Brian Adias.
More wrestling action coming up with the hottest new tag team, Sean and Dave Patrick, Wrestling's TNT on Superstar Texas Wrestling.